This was a crazy series. Um, and it still remains number four on my top favorite action film franchises. Just watched it on Peacock. That's where all the John Wick movies are at, and the TV show. If you haven't seen them, that's where it's at. I'm sure most of you probably have seen them because I tend to get the stuff real late sometimes. It wasn't until a few years ago that I watched like the Fast and Furious stuff or the Mission Impossible stuff or Taken or whatever. So, Internet Movie Database gave this movie a 76%. Google users gave it 76 to 85%. Am I reading that right? Is that 70? Yeah. Just Watch gave it a 91. Roger Ebert gave it a 3.5 out of 4. So, what is that? 35 out of 40. Okay, I don't have time to do the math on that right now. I know it's just over 75%. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94. And this is one of the few franchises, if not the only franchise, where each sequel makes more money than the last. And so the first movie made 86 million. I think their budget was $30 million. I can't remember the budget off top for the second and third movies, but the second box office was 174, I believe, 174 million. The third one was just over 300 million, and this one right here has a budget of 100 million, and the box office was just over 447 million. So, will John Wick 5 hit 500 million? That's a tough one because, with the streaming and people pirating and movies not being in theaters as long as they used to. So, I mean, there's so many factors that could basically counter that, get in the way of that. But hey, anything is possible. Now, with the price on his head ever increasing, legendary hitman John Wick takes his fight against the high table global as he seeks out the most powerful players in the underworld, from New York to Paris to Japan to Berlin. And I gotta tell you, this one I think was definitely the craziest out the films. I kind of lean towards this one being the best. I think it's somewhat slightly round the edges, arguably better than the first two movies. And I thought the first two were better than the third one. The first two I gave them both a 9. The third one I gave like an 8, 8.5. And this one I would have to give close to a 9.5. It's like 9.3, 9.4. There were certain scenes in this movie where I was like, this probably would have been better if it had went the way in my head. This is just me thinking selfishly about it. So, for example, the scene where spoiler alert, by the way, the scene where he was falling down the steps outside during the epic fight, and he was tumbling down for a good 2 full minutes. That would have been much funnier if it was one of the bad guys. And there was also the big scene in the fight club, the big fight at the club, and I found it to be odd that these guys are sitting here shooting and stabbing each other, and everybody else around them is just dancing as though they don't see this. I thought that one was a little off, because I'll tell you right now, the minute I see something like that, I'm getting the hell out the building. No questions asked. And also, I think the ending of the movie was actually quite epic and emotional. He didn't fire that third round, and so he shot the guy point blank. I think the guy's name was the Marquise. So parents need to know that, and this is according to Common Sense Media, that the fourth film in this popular action series is the longest out of nearly 3 hours. It was actually 2 hours and 49 minutes. But the filmmakers used the extended running time to create a truly spectacular, dazzling visual epic, though of course its themes still revolve mainly around violence and revenge, and it's extremely, outrageously violent. Expect guns and shooting, a high body count, bloody wounds, blood spurts and sprays, fighting, kicking, punching, throat slitting, stabbing, bows and arrows, swords, falls from high places, car chases, car crashes, characters getting hit by cars or slammed into cars, an attack dog, and much more. Yeah, the dog thing was something else. I thought the scene where he threw, not John Wick, but what the bad guy took the dog, threw it at an oncoming car. It hit the windshield, it hit the floor, and got right back up. Like it's like that was like how they get back up, like on a fight game, Street Fighter, Tekken. Okay, round two, fight. And the dog was just, I said, there's a lot of things I can point to that were unrealistic about it, but it was just so thrilling and it was just so, and it just had the heart racing. And of course, the questions asked about this movie are the same. Is he a hero or villain? We've established that. He's kind of in the middle, but a little bit more on the hero side. I'd say 60% hero, 40% villain, or I would even go so far to say 70% hero, 30% villain. But you all can kind of calculate that however you want to. So I would definitely, sometime in the future, watch all these movies again, as I'm going to watch a lot of other franchises again and give my reviews of them. I have to give you the Terminator reviews, the other two Taken movies, the Fast movies, the Mission Impossible movies, on top of dozens, hell, hundreds of other movie franchises and movies in general that I have to get to, and TV shows. So I think this one right here, I have to say this was arguably the best movie in the franchise. And I'm not just saying that because of the box office numbers, but because of what was in the movie. So I liked it. I really liked it. And chances are I'm going to watch it again sometime in the, who knows, next couple months, whatever. But I watched all these movies because I saw the trailer for Ballerina, and that looks really good. And I figured, well, let me catch the John Wick movies before I catch this. So I've got my ticket to go see Ballerina this weekend, and when I see that, I will be giving my review of that as well. If you're watching this on Facebook, the link to my YouTube, as most of you know, is in the comment section. Feel free to give me a subscription. Help me out. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to hit my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this year. Right now, I'm at about 420. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a subscription. Go to my About section for YouTube and Facebook. And the links to my other socials are there: TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. So that's all I got for now. Stay tuned.